So it can be kind of confusing being on the political left in this day because it's so hard to understand what people see in current president of the United States, Donald Trump. I used to think he was so popular because he's a charismatic asshole who gives voice to the worst impulses in the hearts of all Americans, that he's a living avatar of fuck you, got mine, that appeals to people who are too stupid to realize that they are the ones getting fucked. Other times I thought he was the real source of his power was that he's just a useful idiot in chief, that he actually is that stupid, and the people around him who can flatter him best, they get to basically use him for whatever they want. So his power stems from the powerful people around him. But I realized this week that I was missing something, and it's that he stands up for the little guy.
Explain.
I agree that that's his image. I don't agree that that's what he does.
It's one thing to stand up for who we see as the oppressed, right? Like immigrants, women, the poor. But these groups, broadly speaking, are not unpopular in America. I have a little data here of the least popular Americans, and it's
Should we guess?
Yeah, okay, so this is religious groups. So what are you guys' guess for the least popular religious group in America?
Scientology.
Muslims?
Not counted on this, I don't think. This is from Pew Research in 2022.
Sorry, well, I need to know the exact question, but Muslims.
I mean, how many are on the list?
Only shows 7 on here. But yeah, it's basically just the major
popular?
religious groups in America. Like I
But,
think
by least popular, does it mean like most reviled? Like they ask you, like, which of these groups do you like the least or something?
There's 3 options. It's very or somewhat favorable, neither or don't know enough to say, or very or somewhat unfavorable.
Okay, so up,
Got it.
up,
So
down,
like the
or
highest unfavorability.
Up, down, or nothing.
So I think probably Muslims are seen as the least favorable in the U.S.
Okay.
All right. Wait. Since
And
I want
what
to
do you
take a
think?
contrary opinion to David, and you said Scientology's not on there, I'm going to guess Christianity, just because there's more of them.
Muslims clock in with 59% don't know and 22% very or somewhat favorable. So they are second lowest on the rankings. Number 1.
Is it Jews?
No, you would be shocked to know where Jews are on this list. Mormons are the number 1 least favorable religious group in America, with 15% of Americans saying they are somewhat favorable, 59% saying they don't know, and 25% saying they are somewhat unfavorable. So they have kind of the balance of opinion is the lowest. They're at -10. The actual highest number of unfavorability is evangelical Christians. So, Danny, you were somewhat right. But they end up with a total of +2. So 28% somewhat favorable, 44% don't know. And yeah, 27%. I should just post this
Can you
picture.
you just give the net rating? I think this is very confusing.
So at the top of the ratings, Jews with +28. 35. Yeah, I know. Look, it's been a rough couple years for the Jews. You should do a victory lap.
I think we all know who rigged the results of this poll.
Of the people responding to this, like a very small number of people are willing to go out on a limb and say, like, actually, I'm an anti-Semite, which I'm so surprised that so many people are like, yeah, I'm just gonna say I hate all these groups. Yeah, so it's Jews, mainline Protestants, Catholics, evangelical Christians, atheists, Muslims, and then the Mormons. Suck on that.
We represent like our child religious heritage represents, three different categories here.
The persecution complex is earned. I had no idea. But yeah, these aren't the least popular Americans I'm talking about. Trump stands up for the actual least popular Americans, the most persecuted Americans, sex criminals.
I guess you could look at it that way.
Yes. So I have an article here. Child molesters are the most hated group of criminals in prisons. Many inmates see violence against child molesters as community service. Not looking good for child molesters.
Well, unless they're the president of the country, I guess.
Allegedly.
He's not allegedly the president, dude. He's definitely the president.
Well, I mean,
a child
regardless
molester.
of what he has done as a person, he certainly takes every opportunity he can to stand up and lift up and honor sex criminals. This last week, Trump invited registered sex offender and pedophile New York Giants linebacker Lawrence Taylor to the White House. In 2010, Taylor was arrested for rape and prostitution charges in connection with the assault of a 16-year-old girl. He pleaded guilty in 2011 to misdemeanor charges of sexual misconduct of patronizing a prostitute and was sentenced to 6 years of probation, and then later invited.
By the way, the details of this case are like unbelievably fucking sickening, dude.
Go on.
Do you want me to describe it? It's pretty fucked up.
I can always cut it out.
Okay. So he
Back to our comedy podcast. You warned us. Ugh. You warned us. I have no excuse. I mean, that's just one example. Recently, he was also considering pardoning Sean P. Diddy Combs. Sean P. Diddy Combs was on trial for a number of gross offenses, but he has not yet been sentenced. So Trump is so invested in this case that he's already considering a pardon, and technically has the right to pardon someone before they were convicted.
I mean, think about Ford and Nixon, right?
Well, before they even go on trial, right? I mean, think of Joe Biden pardoning. I mean, did he pardon himself?
Maybe you guys read the article, because those are both the examples in here. A president can pardon someone before they are convicted of a crime. It's known as a preemptive pardon. Former President Joe Biden preemptively pardoned several family members, including his brother James and Frank Biden and sister Valerie Biden Owens. It doesn't mention his son, which is the more famous of the pardons, but that might have been an after-the-fact pardon.
Right, yeah. Pardoned him. He had already been convicted of crimes.
Right. One of the most famous examples is Gerald Ford's pardon of Richard Nixon, which came before Nixon was formally charged or convicted of any crimes related to the Watergate scandal.
Fuck you, Gerald Ford.
So, yeah, if he does get this sort of blanket pardon ahead of any conviction for sex crimes, that will only apply to federal charges, not state-level charges.
P. Diddy has been convicted but not sentenced, right? He was convicted of some. He was also acquitted of some of the charges.
Yeah, he got off a lot of the charges. I don't know too much about the trial, but I have heard that it did not go so well for the prosecution. There was one
rogue juror. There was one rogue juror that basically spiked the case, I guess, from what I was reading. Yeah. He just refused to convict on and they couldn't come to a verdict on a bunch of the charges.
But that's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is Trump's standing up for the little guy. Like when he hinted at the idea of pardoning convicted sex criminal Ghislaine Maxwell and orchestrated a meeting between her and the Justice Department prior to her upcoming testimony before Congress.
Plus, she was just sent to a low security prison, Club Fed, instead of the one that she had been in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, continue.
A quote from the man himself. Well, I'm allowed to give her... What voice did we agree to using for Trump?
I thought we used Dracula before, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm allowed to give her a pardon, but nobody's approached me with it. Nobody's asked me about it. Trump told reporters earlier this week. He added that it was inappropriate to talk about it. It's inappropriate to talk about this pardon I'm floating for. Yeah. Ghislaine Maxwell, if she talks the way that he wants. So she met with the Justice Department prior to her testimony before Congress for mysterious reasons. So we'll see how it goes.
Only mysterious to people who can't add 2 and 2 together and get 4.
One can only speculate as to why Trump will stand up for the most persecuted in our society like this. It could be just a calculated political move. He knows that the American voter will see him putting his political life on the line for these lowlifes and degenerates and think this is a man of principle. And that's where the real courage of conviction comes in. I love someone who has this inherent belief in the system that they'll stand up for these rapists and pedophiles.
Hopefully not touching underage people.
Speaking of persecution, he was also persecuted by the system himself. He probably connects with these people on a deeper level because I don't know if you've heard this, but Trump was a longtime companion and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein, a famous pedophile and trafficker of child prostitutes. And Trump is like listed on the flight logs of the Lolita Express many times. His name was recently redacted from certain files in the FBI database relating to the Epstein case. So not suspicious at all. Trump was convicted of sexual assault.
Well, this was not a criminal conviction.
Yeah,
This
was sexual assault, and it was a civil case, right?
Right, found liable in a civil case. So there's a lower,
to be fair,
standard, lower burden of proof.
The witnesses in the criminal case had to drop out because they had too many death threats against them from Trump supporters, who I'm sure were lovely people, very fine people.
Yeah, some true believers in America who believe, someone's standing up for the rights of every American.
Don't worry, though. Trump pointed out that he and Epstein had a falling out because Epstein stole that 16-year-old girl from Mar-a-Lago or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's probably the language you want to use too. Someone who's famously trafficking women, you're like, oh, they stole them, like their property. Pretty cool. So, in conclusion,
hide your kids.
Hide your wife.
He's coming for both of them, for America.